We will just start in 2 minutes. Okay, I'm waiting for others to join. We'll just start in 2 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody is doing fine on the last lap for your mains 2024. Let's do a quick audio check. Can you just let me know in the comment box if you're able to hear me clearly? All right. Okay. Uh, Let us start. Okay, I'm going to start by telling you all an story, an anecdote. Right, we'll start this session with an anecdotal hook. I don't think I have so far in our both the sessions. I have spoken to you about King Yayati. Yayati. Okay, so King Yayati is supposedly an ancient king. Okay, and there is an interesting anecdote between a conversation between King Yayati and the god of death, Yamraj. Right. So what happened was King Yayati was 100 years old, and when King Yayati was 100 years old, he had lived a very long and obviously a prosperous life. He had about some 40, 50 sons by then, and his time had come. Emeraj approached and he told Yeti, your time is up on this planet. It's time to uh, go. It's time for his life to end. Upon seeing Emeraj, he was full of regrets and he just fell down to his feet, requesting, I have so many unfulfilled desires. I have so many things to do, so many more countries or so many more regions to capture, so many social work to do, so much of celebrations to do. He just told Yamraj ki, I have not yet lived my life fully. So I want some more time. He pleaded, he fell to his feet, like saying that I want more time. But Yamraj, the god of death, is like, that is not possible because you have to sort of come. But I can make an exception provided that you offer one of your son in return. So Yamraj told King Yayati that instead of Yayati, Yayati can live for 100 more years provided one son comes with him as a replacement. So he started asking all his sons, from the elder to the youngest one, like, for your father, will you not do this? Will your father, will you not die? No son of his was willing to die, right? At that point of time, the youngest son of King Yayati, who was about, let's say, 18, 20 years old, right? He agreed to go with Yamraj as a replacement for his father. Now, Yamraj, the god of death, is now very curious. When 100-year-old man himself is not ready to die, neither are his younger siblings, who have seen a lot of life they have seen, much more experience, joys and sorrows of life, as compared to the youngest son. The god of death tries to convince him, like, you have a long life ahead. You have just started to live your life. Why do you want to die in place of your 100-year-old father? The younger son replies, if they could not do what they wanted to do in 100 years, 90 years, 80 years, what will I do when I reach their age? So time, he tells God of Death, Emraj, that is an illusion, that we have too much time or too little time. So better now only. Whatever I lived, I have lived. Better now only I'll come with you. My life is done. So Emraj agrees. But the thing here with Yehati is, he gets 100 more years. After 100 more years, Emraj is back. Yehati has the same story. He has not done what he wanted to do. He has not achieved what he wanted to achieve. He has not helped who he wanted to help. Same story again after 200 years. One more son goes, 300, 400, 500, 600. Even after 1,000 years, Yeti, upon seeing Yamraj, falls to his feet, asking for more time. So this sort of an anecdote for time is an illusion, right? We can sufficiently never have enough time. And that is true for this exam as well. This is very much true for this exam. You cannot have enough time for prelims. Now, if I can point out, prelims was postponed by 3 weeks. And if you can go back to May 26th was your original prelims, that became June 17th or 18th. If you can go back and just reflect upon what did you achieve in those 3 weeks, would your outcome be any different if it was 3 weeks lesser? Or let's say if UPSC has extended 3 weeks more, would you have had the same outcome? Probably the answer is yes. Those who had cleared, 95% of them would have cleared, and those who did not clear, 95% of them would have not cleared. Just 5% here and there, some mismatch would have happened if prelims was less timed or prelims was given 3 more weeks of extra. So the same applies for your mains examination as well, right? So that there is an illusion of time. You may feel that whatever the time you had, especially after a 3 week postponement, might not be enough. Okay, you may be feeling might not be enough. You needed more time. If you're feeling that, you're talking like Yayati, because you have more time, your brain automatically adjusts it. Probably, yeah, you may have done one chapter 5%, 10% extra in that extended time. That's all. You cannot do any miraculous thing. So whatever time you had, the time is apt. The time is enough, because time is an illusion, as highlighted by that anecdote of Yayati. Right. So you have done for the best of your abilities, irrespective whether the prelims was on September 20th or October 20th. The level of preparation which you would have given would be exactly the same. Why I am telling you this is, if you are giving your first mains, you may be feeling that it was too short of a time. I could have done optional better. I could have written more essays. I could have written more tests. Nah. Now is not the time to think that. You did your best. Because if you have cleared prelims, obviously you would have given it your best and beyond for your mains examination. So instead of thinking that what if you had more time, start embracing that imperfections are a way to go. You cannot cover everything. There will always be certain areas, either in one GS1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in the option, somewhere in the essay, that you really wanted to work on it, but unfortunately you could not. Whatever you did, be happy. You did it. Okay. You are prepared. And the idea for the next 15 days, 15 odd days, should be going and giving your best. Why I am telling you this is very simple. Exam is very subjective. Essay especially, optional to an extent, and GS1, 2, 3, and 4. Nobody has figured it out, like what goes right, what goes wrong. Everybody knows something, nobody knows everything. On that basis, we guide you people. As simple as that. So you need to ensure that you go and you give your best, because you clearly don't know what exactly how evaluation happens in this exam, be it 1, 2, 3, and 4 essays or optional. Just go and give your best without thinking about the outcome, because I'm pretty sure if you're writing this mains, you all did whatever best was possible. Now in the last week, focus more on your GS subjects, right? I think it's time to keep optional aside if you haven't done it already, because you have one more week remaining for your optional. Sorry, you get that 5 days break for your optional. So you can give a one thorough revision of optional in that time. So you can go to GS and you can go it like reverse, start from 4, then 3, GS2, and then GS1, like a countdown for your mains. And yeah, with respect to essays, I'll come in a bit. Daily, at least half an hour or 1 hour per day, you can give for your essays. Keep on doing the brainstorming exercise. Daily, you brainstorm two topics. And if you have any material to revise, kindly revise that. Now let's dig deep into the core of this session. How to maximize your performance on 20th September. Let's start from 19th September. Okay, 1 week from today, 19th September. There will always be nerves, especially if it's your first mains, even if it's your second mains or third, there are going to be nerves. That's a part and parcel of this exam, and it's okay to feel nervous. So normalize this nervousness, little bit of anxiousness is bound to be there. No need of beating yourself like, okay, I'm feeling a little stressed, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. No need to do that, because everybody faces that. And if you're writing it for the first time, mains for the first time, little bit more nerves are going to be there. What to do? Nothing. Just take a deep breath, focus, relax, meditate. But one day before, along with that, I want you to revise. Go through all the essays that you have written, the feedback that you have received. You will know your strengths, you will know your weaknesses. So revise that. Revise any material that you have prepared, unique examples, your collection of quotes, poems, conclusions, whatever you have prepared for your essays on 19th. If not for the entire day, the second half of the day, start revising. Start ingraining it yourself. Just commit to the memory. And remember here, when you are doing that, do it without any pressure. Because this is essay, you don't have to have everything by hearted. As long as you have a good enough hold over it, you will manage it. So without putting yourself too much pressure, start revising, guys. Specifically with respect to essays on 19th. If not for the entire day, the second half of the day, you should be revising. Go through, glance through all the essays that you have written, the mistakes that you make, so that you know yourself. You have that self-awareness you have, so that you can perform better the next day. And sleep aram se for 7 to 8 hours on 19th. Wake up. Strangely, they haven't released this year's hall ticket yet. I think in another couple of days, hall tickets must be out. Okay. If at all you have traveled to a different city to write mains, my suggestion is on 19th or even 18th, once the hall ticket once the hall ticket is out, go and visit the center. If at all you are not a native, generally UPSC mains, any city, they'll give the center at the center of the city. Main center is generally very accessible. प्रीलिम्स की तरह उधर ईस्ट वेस्ट नॉर्थ साउथ पे नहीं फेंकते हैं, क्योंकि देयर जस्ट वन और टू और थ्री सेंटर्स पर सिटी. It will generally be at the center of the city. But if you have traveled to a different city which you're not very familiar with, my suggestion is one day before, go and visit the center. Just dekh lo. Because the point where you are staying, the residence or the PG or the hotel that you're staying, how far is it? And hopefully you have to keep it at a very moderate distance. You don't want to travel too much on the day of the exam, because ऐसे चलो ठीक है, you travel and you come back हो जाएगा. But for GS 1, 2, 3 and 4, that 4 hectic days, when your body and mind is already fatigued, right? So you don't want to travel too much. So keep your place of residence very, very close, if not too close, at least at a moderate distance from your main center. And if you're traveling to a different city, better to visit the center. Or let's say you cannot go, you want to stay put, stay relaxed, ask your friends or your family who are accompanying you, or whoever they may be, to just go once and just verify that center for you. Because you don't want last minute tension on the day of the exam. You're trying to enter it into Ola or Uber, some or the other center. You're not sure if it is the exact center, or there may be multiple schools or colleges with the same name. So you don't want that happening for your the mains exam. Next thing, the basics. Pens in adequate quantity. जितने सारे लेके जाने हैं लेके जाओ. Don't be stingy. Same color, same brand, just in case one stops working. I'm not a huge fan of refills. वो 1 minute चला जाता है. Once if a pen stops working, just keep it aside, pick a new pen and write it. Carry them in an adequate number. You can easily carry as many pens as you want. Blue or black, green or red, no. Okay, these are the rookie mistakes. Blue or black. You can write with blue, underline with black, write with black, underline with blue, but just like that. Okay, one color writing, one color underlining, that's all. आधा ब्लू में मत लिखो, आधा ब्लैक में मत लिखो. सेक्शन ए आप ब्लैक में लिख रहे हो, सेक्शन बी ब्लैक ब्लू में लिख रहे हो. आई डोंट वांट दैट हैपनिंग. राइट इन वन कलर, अंडरलाइन इन वन कलर. If you are a person who can mess it up, write and underline in the same color. I always suggest एक ही पेन. एक ही color, blue or black, whatever is your go-to color. Okay, do not write in one color and underline in other unless you are very proficient, especially boys गड़बड़ा जाते हैं, especially tension में है आधे में लिख दिया, it will look very very bad, especially if you're not used to it and you have not done it before. Now is not the time. Writing and underlining in the same color looks as good as writing and underlining in a different color. Okay, I suggest go with same color. Right now, next, you can carry water easily. You can carry water. Apart from coffee, tea, you can carry anything, tender coconut water also, but I wouldn't suggest you fill your bladder with it because pee breaks are very costly in mains examination. So strategically, you have to plan your pee breaks and ensure that you relieve yourself before the exam. Each paper, okay, relieve yourself before the exam. There may be a lot of queue. Okay, you have to adjust to that also. You have to account for this as well in the washroom before both the papers, whether it is 1, 2 or 3 or 4, accommodate, because you cannot afford a pee break while you are writing. 5 to 6 minutes will be gone there, and just in case it's an emergency, you can as well use the loo, not an issue, but I'm just telling you to save that time. There is no rule that you cannot take a washroom break. You can as many times as you want, but the thing is, to save time, better to plan it strategically. Drink water, drink sufficient water, but do not overload yourself, so that you can sail through all these, all the 3 hours there. Next, you can carry chocolates. You can carry glucon D, whatever you feel like, that is very well allowed. But the thing here is, don't carry chocolates that can melt, ruin your answer script. Okay, so don't carry something that can melt or ruin your answer script. Carry something, glucovita bolts is something that I have used and works like, brilliantly. It doesn't melt, it just powder. Okay, and also it's instant energy, right? So it's instant energy, so that is something that you can consider. Okay, chocolates are also fine. Many people carry Snickers, etc. But yeah, you have to be a little careful there, because if they melt, you don't want to smudge your answer script. It will look very, very, very bad. It will look horrible. Okay, and with respect to the pens doubt, you can very well use gel pens. Okay, gel pens or ball pens are there. No fountain pen or marker kind of a thing. Gel pens, ball pens are fine. Stopwatch depends on center to center. Simple watches are allowed. Okay, some centers allow the stopwatches, some centers don't allow. It depends on the center. Okay, I don't think UPSC minds that too much, but given what has happened in the recent past, which Pooja Khedkar case, I think UPSC is going to be extra vigilant this time. Okay, I think if you can carry it, if they said not allowed, just keep it in the bag and deposit it, right? So you can do that very well. Okay, it depends from center to center. All right, but simple watch, definitely they will allow, not an issue for you to time yourself. Now, coming to the yeah, hall ticket and ID card. And remember guys, the same ID card that you have mentioned in the hall ticket. If you have mentioned Aadhaar, you're carrying Aadhaar. You're mentioned PAN, you're carrying your PAN card. You don't want last minute troubles there, right? Like you have mentioned Aadhaar, you have carried PAN card. I know it's an ID card, but you don't want last minute tension there. You don't want last minute, nah, don't uh, be under this kind of pressure. Now, just once the hall ticket is, I think for prelims and this mains, the same ID card, just see your prelims hall ticket, which ID card you had mentioned there. Ensure that now you see and keep it, that it's there. Some of you might be traveling. Be very careful that when you're traveling, you take the same ID card. Right? Ensure that all the pens that you want, all the notes that you want, especially if you're traveling, and worst case, guys, as long as you have the hall ticket can be printed anywhere. ID card is something that cannot be available everywhere. So as long as you have ID card, tends to you can borrow from somebody also and write. But the thing is, ID card is very important. Hall ticket is very important. Ensure that you have those at your disposal. You don't want last minute tension. And on 19th, eat a good dinner, not a very heavy dinner. Good, eat a good dinner and sleep. Aram se 7 to 8 hours. On the day of exam, 20th, right? You may be feeling a little tense, but I think more than that, you will be focused. I want your focus to be razor sharp. Razor sharp, like a lion is just about to go for a hunt, and lion has already targeted the prey, and it's now just about to pounce. The moment you freshen up and you go to the or you move towards the examination hall, start focusing like a razor sharp lion about to pounce on a prey. I don't want any distractions. I don't want any fear. I don't want any sort of nervousness, anxiety, nothing. Because it is the day to perform. That is not the day to be afraid. That is not the day to be fearful of. So ensure that your focus is razor sharp and you are effectively focused on the target. That cliched hook, Arjuna and the fish eye, right? You're looking at the fish eye. And have a healthy breakfast, because this is both physically and mentally challenging. I want you guys to have a healthy breakfast. Whatever you can eat, have it. Do not skip your breakfast for any reason. You want to be at the best of your spirits, mental spirits, as well as your physical capacity. So have a good breakfast, and if you have the habit of consuming coffee or tea, do that. Not an issue. But reach the center on time. Reach the center on time. Now, generally, till last year, because this year's hall ticket is not out, and we have yet to read the instructions given. Generally, they mention if 9 o'clock is the exam, 8:40 is the cutoff time to enter the examination hall. Ensure that you are there at that cutoff time. Whatever cutoff time they tell, you have to be there. They generally give 15-20 minutes as the cutoff time. Be there before that cutoff time, because I feel UPSC is going to be a little strict this time. You don't want to go there and you're fighting with the watchman or the people there, like, let me in, I'm just 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, exam is at 9, I am there is still 15 minutes to go, why are you doing this, right? So that's something that you want to avoid, right? So reach much before the cutoff time. Now, before going in, if you are the type of person who starts slowly, you can warm up as in you can scribble anything related to essay or before GS1, anything related to GS1, just to warm your mind as well as your fingers or your hand up. Scribble random quotes, scribble random topics, any anecdote that you think of, just scribble, just in case you feel that you need to warm up your mind or a body, because some people have that initial lag. And this is a very good pressure beating tactic when you warm up your mind and brain, because you're focusing on scribbling. You don't have to write it neatly, just some half page, 1 page, whatever comes to your mind, write it. And then you go in. And when you go in, sit calmly, take deep breaths, right? You may have familiar faces around. If you want to say hi, hello, it's your call. If you want to be just focused and be to yourself, it's your call. Whatever the type of person you are. Some people just want to say hi, hello to the known faces. Some people are like, okay, it's my business. Okay, I have to now mind it myself. Now, the instruction generally from UPSC is the paper should be given at 8:55. But some idiots comes as invigilator sometimes. They will not give until 9. You can actually remind them. If they act too cocky, ask them to talk to the UPSC representative there. 8:55 the paper should be given. You can start writing only at 9. That is the rule. But 8:55. And some amazing, wonderful souls also comes. They give at 8:50. That is your luck, right? But if some nonsense idiot comes and they are not giving the paper at 8:55, you can as well be very humble. You don't want to start off very rudely or anything. You don't want to piss them off. You never know what center it comes. Okay, some are God sent. They are very angelish. They will just give you at 8:53, some 8:50 only. Some are, they don't care. They are, यार क्या कर रहे हैं हम, we are not getting paid for this. आराम से देंगे 9 o'clock को, right? If at all they don't give you at 8:55, be very politely, very humbly remind, sir, as per the rules, we are supposed to get the paper at 8:55, right? Or just remind them. Don't go all angry and rude. Don't spoil your mental composure. Just remind them, and that should do the trick. If it is a reasonable person. If not, there is hardly anything that you can do there, right? Just try not to lose your mental calm there. Okay, but as per the rules, 8:55 they should give you the paper, and the moment you get it, properly look at the hall ticket once and then write your register number. Okay, you don't want to mess that up. That looks very, very bad. Okay, in the question come answer booklet, sample mistakes to be avoided, UPSC has told that you cannot make that mistake. Again, whitener lagayenge. Don't do that. Just see the hall ticket. I know you'll all remember your mains roll number by now, but ensure that you see the hall ticket, then write it again. Okay, write it again. Now, one more thing is the benches. Again, the quality of benches varies from center to center. If you are given a very crappy, very shitty bench which shakes, it's very not durable, feel free to ask for a replacement, right? They will either get a new bench or shift you to a new location. That has happened. Okay, personal experience where once I got a very shitty bench. They just asked me to sit in a different room. And always see which room you belong to. Before entering the examination hall, outside the examination center, they'll put this roll number to this roll number, which room. So see which room you belong to. And also the rooms may change from GS1 to from SA to GS1 also sometimes. Generally it is the same. Definitely it will change for your compulsory paper and your optional. It will definitely change. Generally, SA 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be the same room, but sometimes it may even change from SA to GS1. So just every day before entering, just check where your roll number is allotted. Again, you will not find, then again come back, look at the sheet, then run. Don't want these kind of hassles. Okay, and coming back to the bench, if at all it is a very shitty bench, shaking, because handwriting matters, right? I have told you so much. It matters a lot, right? And let's say because of the shaking or the lack of sturdidity of that bench, okay, you are unable to write properly. Just see that before sitting only, just see, like, just see how sturdy it is. As long as it is fine, it should be there. Minor things you can adjust, but if it's a major issue, like the bench has a lot of holes there, right? Please ask for a replacement. Okay, it's your mains. You have to stand for yourself. Nobody will care whether you write well, you don't write well, you have a good bench, you have a shitty bench. Nobody cares that much. Okay, now as soon as you get the booklet, write the roll number. First thing I want you to do with respect to essay is count the number of pages they have given. Why I am saying this is till 2020, 13 pages used to come. 21 onwards, 12 pages are coming. It's okay, count kar lo ek bar, kitne pages aaye. Because it's better to know how many pages they have given. and just see the rough sheet where it is, obviously at the end of the booklet only. But just count the number of pages. It will take half a minute for you. And if you are the type of person who in our sessions I have told you write a very short conclusion, because you overextend the body at last one and a half page of section A or 2 pages, keep a small dot, छोटा सा small dot, indicating that इसके बाद बस 2 पेज या 1.5 पेज रह गए हैं, यहां से आपको कंक्लूजन में ट्रांजिशन करना है. Like you have to transition to conclusion, because some people get carried away. अब समझो अगर पहला दिन है पूरे जोश में लिख दिया एंड देन यू आर सेइंग पेजेस आर डन, कंक्लूजन तो नहीं लिखा, और आधे पेज या जस्ट वन पैराग्राफ ऑफ कंक्लूजन, that doesn't that doesn't look good. That will cost you. So just 2 pages before, just a tiny dot at the corner, just a tiny dot, so that is a milestone for you कि भाई इसके बाद 2 पेज are remaining, just 2 pages are remaining, and you have to start transitioning to conclusion or start thinking about the conclusion, right? Then once that is done, you have the detachable question paper that is given. Okay, just detach it and start selecting the topic. You will have another 3-4 minutes left before you can start writing or start brainstorming. Start selecting the topic, and I have taught you, I hope in a good manner, how to select the topic, and I am going to tell you again, just in a very briefly, not as detailed as in the previous sessions. First criteria is you should be 100% sure that you know the topic. Especially if it is a philosophical topic, you should know what the topic means. What is the meaning behind the topic? Right? The second criteria is obviously the content that you have, the familiarity of the topic. And I have told you, if you have narrowed it down to 2 topics, you're not sure, because let's say you say question number 2 and 3, you're both sure what the meaning of the topic is, and you have good content, you feel that you can write a good essay. The tiebreaker should always be the gut feeling. What your gut says, where you can write a better essay. Trust your gut, trust your instinct, right? And start brainstorming. And always remember, expect the unexpected. There may be surprises this year also. What if all 8 topics are technical? It's not going to happen, but I'm just telling what if. And I have trained you enough to tackle that also. Not an issue. What if all 8 topics are very absurd, like test number 3 of SAH? It's a good thing. You'll not waste too much time on selecting the topic, because hardly one topic you will be knowing out of those 4. Always see the positive aspect of that. Be ready for anything. Or what if all 8 topics are very easy? A friend in need is a friend indeed. A stitch in time saves 9. With great power comes great responsibility. All very simple quotes. Can happen. You never know what UPSC can surprise. But expect the unexpected. Always expect the unexpected, so that if at all there are any surprises, let that be a surprise, not a shock. शॉक लग जाएगा ना, जो 2021 में लगा था बहुत लोगों को. Okay, 2021, right? Everybody was prepared for one philosophical topic, one subject wise or technical topic. Then वहां पे जाके देखते हैं all 8 are philosophical topic with quotes such as, your perception of me is a reflection of you, your reflection of me is, yeah, my reaction to you is an awareness of me. These kind of quotes. Real is rational, rational is real, a hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, right? History repeats itself, first as a tragedy, second time as a farce. All these kind of quotes which will take time to decipher. People lost their composure. You cannot lose your composure at any point of time in the exam. For whatsoever reason, you simply cannot lose your composure. So priorly go and prepare for the unexpected. एसए में नहीं तो GS1 में होगा, GS1 में नहीं तो 2 में होगा, 3 में नहीं तो 4 में होगा, नहीं तो ऑप्शन में कहीं ना कहीं तो कुछ ना कुछ तो होगा. यूपीएससी का मेंस एग्जाम है. इट इज अ यूपीएससी मेंस एग्जाम. समवेयर समथिंग should be unexpected, right? So If at all, if there is any thing unexpected in the essay paper, it's okay. Just smile. Say, well done, UPSC, but I have come prepared. I have anticipated this. So you might have surprised me, but you have not shocked me. I'm going to maintain my composure and do my best. That is what. It's relative. You have to do better than your others. And do not, for whatsoever reason, complicate things there. Brainstorm effectively, right? Sometimes you, if you're good enough, you may end up brainstorming everything in those 15-20 minutes. Sometimes one or two dimensions, or sometimes conclusion might not be brainstormed properly. It's okay. But at the end of 20th minute, at the end of 20th minute, I want you guys to start writing. Okay, do not delay it further. Do not delay it further than 20th minute. But at the end of 20th minute, start writing. Because what happens is, if you if you fall behind writing, okay, if you fall behind writing, it's very difficult to recover. Let's say one or two dimensions you could not brainstorm properly. If you're not prepared properly, you can always do a mini brainstorming once you're exhausted what you have already done. That will be better, rather than taking half an hour to brainstorm. It's okay. It's okay. And remember to execute what you have prepared, because you need to give out your best shot in your essays. So execute what you have prepared for. Do not go radical there, like something I will do out of the ordinary, out of the blue. Going radical may backfire. Sometimes it may work for you, but sometimes it may not. So stick to what works. You will know your strengths, you'll know your weaknesses. So stick to what works. And also in section A or section B, you may attempt section A first or section B. But before going ahead, at least glance part B wale topics. Before you can go ahead with the writing or even do brainstorming, at least glance part B wale topics. You may not select which topic you'll write, or you may narrow down to two. Okay, let's say 5 or 8 I'll write. 6 or 7, not my cup of tea. 5 or 8. You may not narrow down to the one exact topic, but at least glance. Because if you can remember, I think test 4, there was violence in section A and violence in section B. Section A, mankind has to get out of violence only through non-violence. And then section B, violence against women is a manifestation of doubtful capabilities of women. So that was a trap that I had put. And some of you fell in that trap. Because in the section A, you have already introduced, most of you had introduced gender-based violence and wrote 2 paragraphs. And section B, you are again writing about gender-based violence. I'm not saying it's a huge mistake, but overlaps will be there between section A and section B, and that is not at all advisable. Okay, the overlaps between section A and section B, that is not advisable. So when you glance through, you will know which topic you have selected in section A, and you will know which topic, if at all, if there is any overlaps, to avoid in section B. But if you have not at all had a glance, you may choose one topic, and let's say in section B, you knew only one topic, and that is related to the topic in section A. That will not look really good. So always, for at least at the outset, you have to glance all the 8 topics. And even if you have a little bit of doubt that you have not understood that topic is not for you. Choose some other topic. Okay, so don't worry too much about हाँ ये क्या करना है वो क्या करना है लिखूं क्या, should I go for it, I might think I have understood the topic. Don't take that risk, way too costly. 125 marks, guys. Okay, do not do not play with fate. Now coming to, what if I get stuck while writing an essay? Or I'm trying to brainstorm hard, ideas are not coming. Remember, your brain doesn't work that way. Don't think way too hard. Do not put too much pressure on your brain. Let ideas come to your brain. Ideas will flow. You're prepared well. You've worked hard, right? So let those ideas flow. Do not put way too much pressure on your brain. That what happens is, when you put too much pressure on your brain, it narrows down. And when you narrow down, you write a narrow essay and you'll get obviously average marks or very less marks. So let ideas come to you. Just in case you feel little stuck, do not panic. Take a couple of deep breaths. If you want, you can eat something. Here, once in a while, if you're feeling, because brain is burning glucose very rapidly, you can replenish yourself with whatever you are carrying. But for no reason whatsoever, even if you feel you're stuck, take a couple of deep breaths. Ideas will come, because you're appearing for mains. There will always be content for you to write. Remember, test one. That was the purpose of test one, where I gave you two topics, no choice. You still, irrespective of your level of preparation, that was the least stage of preparation. You are rather unprepared at that time. Yet you could manage to write at least 1,000 words on both the topics, right? So that means writing 1,000 words is not a problem. Okay, so you have it, you will have it. Okay, you just have to let it come to you. Don't put too much pressure on your brain. Your brain generally doesn't work that way. Be calm. Take a couple of deep breaths. Ideas will flow. Examples will come. Whatever you're thinking will come. But let that not stress you out. Let that not make you panic. If at all you feel a little stuck. And while writing the essays, manage time well. At the end of 35 minutes, you should be almost finishing your introduction. And last 10 to 15 minutes should be reserved for your conclusion. And finish section A, or if you're starting with section B, in 90 minutes. Each section 90 minutes. Don't take 1 hour 45, 1 hour 50 minutes, because inevitably the second essay, the quality of second essay is going to get compromised if you take too much time. You may compromise on the brainstorming. You may compromise on the quality of the essays. Don't want that. Try to finish off the essay 90 minutes, 90 minutes. That's all. Manage the time well. And also remember that if you're starting section B first, sometimes you may write section B first, that you write the essay in the space provided in the section B. This is a very, very rookie mistake that may cost you very dearly. So start the essay section. If at all you are going with section B, write it in the space provided for section B. And if you're writing section A, write it in the space provided for section A. Do not mess this up, because 125 marks worth, you cannot take this risk. Be mindful. This will just be a simple lack of focus if you do it. Next thing, for whatsoever reason, not even for a single time, write outside the margin. Everything that you write should be within the margin, including the topic number. And always start by writing the topic. Without writing the topic, do not even write a line. The first thing that after brainstorming you should do, write the topic and then start with your hook. So no reason whatsoever, even for a single word, write outside the margin, because UPSC may penalize you for writing outside the margin. Okay, I have seen in the past couple of years, people get minus 15, minus 20. Okay, if that is happening, okay, then you are, even before the race has started, you have fallen long behind here. So ensure that no violation of commission's instruction. Some of you do not have the most prettiest of handwritings. Okay, these people, try to give your best on that day. Try to be as neat as possible. At least the keywords, try to be as neat as possible. Okay, if God has given you with a blessed you with a pretty handwriting, good. But those of you, I know some of you who have not the most prettiest of handwriting, but it's okay. Now you did your best. But try to be at your best possible handwriting on the day of the exam, at least in the key sections, key arguments, and key words. You at least write it with a very nice handwriting. Now, coming to the second section B, let's say you're done with section A, 90 minutes are done. It is, you must have experienced in all the mock tests that you have given, there is going to be a little bit of fatigue, physical as well as mental. So do not, at whatsoever reason, let that fatigue affect your performance, because second essay is as good as the first one, 125 marks worth. Our target is to write two very good essays. I hope that happens. Writing two very good essays. I hope that really happens. But for whatsoever reason, do not let the fatigue hit you. Take a couple of deep breaths there. Again, feed yourself something that you're carrying, and ensure that that fatigue impact is not seen. How does fatigue impact you? Repeating examples from section A to section B, narrowed approach to the essay, you are not able to generate effective dimensions. That's how fatigue manifests. Or sometimes a missing conclusion on the second essay. At no costs, guys, you're missing nothing in the essay. Introduction, including core argument, all the dimensions of the body, including couple of one or two unique dimensions, and conclusion. As I've been using the analogy in the last couple of days, it's like building a home. Your brainstorming is the foundation of the essay. Your supporting argument is the ground floor, and your counter arguments and additional arguments are the first and the second floor. You cannot directly jump to counter arguments or additional arguments without writing the supporting argument effectively, because if the ground floor is not addressed very well, if the ground floor is not built very well, then there is no way first floor and second floor will be able to stand or survive. So ensure that supporting argument in favor of the topic, that is well addressed, and then you go on to the counter arguments and additional arguments. That's how you structure it. And remember, you can still build a good house just by having a foundation and a ground floor. But a house with a good value will always have first and second floor. So many people compromise ground floor for first and second floor. I don't want that to happen. Even if you just build a good ground floor, you can still get a decent enough value. But when you have, along with a good ground floor, you have first and second floor, that will get you the best value to your house. Now, this analogy can help you see whether or not have you addressed the supporting argument effectively before moving on to additional arguments and counter arguments. Okay, so always ask: is my ground floor well written? Is my ground floor complete? Is my ground floor solid? Then go on. And always remember, brainstorming is the foundation, and if the foundation is weak, the entire structure becomes weak. So you have to do effective brainstorming there. Next thing I want to suggest you people is to be flexible. Don't be too rigid. Let's say, I know all of you have your favorite anecdotes, your favorite conclusions, your favorite examples, and we are going to use them, but sometimes it just doesn't fit. Or you have a style of writing which might not fit based on the topic that is given. If something is not fitting based on the topic that is given, do not be rigid. अरे इसको यूज करना है, राइट? बुद्धा एंड द बेगिंग बॉल, सर ने क्लास में सिखाया था, उसको यूज करना है. स्टैनिस्लॉ पेट्रोव, सर ने क्लास में बोला इसको यूज करना है, राइट? समथिंग ओके. और लेट्स से दिस इज माय फेवरेट एग्जांपल, मैंने मेहनत की है, आई हैव टू यूज इट. देयर इज नो हार्ड एंड स्ट्रिक्ट रूल गाइस, इट्स एन एसे. इफ इट फिट्स, if it is organically fitting, use it. If you can fit it, also use it. But neither it is fitting, neither can you fit it, but just for the sake of your ego, or just for the sake of using it, if you are using, then that will probably backfire on you. So be flexible, do not be rigid. Most of the things that you have prepared will work 85% of the time. There will always be certain topics where 15% of the time, the things that you know, the things that you have prepared will not fit. So you have to quickly think on your feet then. So I think you will be able to manage that, probably for a dimension or two. So be flexible. Sometimes you put too much hard pressure on your brain. You have to think unique arguments. Let's say it's not coming, guys. It's okay. Do not be very rigid कि हाँ हर चीज unique होना चाहिए. It's okay. Okay, you thought of a unique example, not coming, go for the commonly known cliches. It's okay. And as I always tell, a cliche which is very well written is better than an unique example which is poorly written. So if you are writing a cliche, as I told in the next set of classes, make it better than your competitors. Make it better than your competitors, whatever you write. And always remember to express yourself effectively. I'll just quickly recap what UPSC wants from you people. 2 essays, right? Stay closely to the demand of the topic. Organize your ideas in an orderly fashion. And to write concisely. पिछले 3 महीने में write concisely बोल के थक गया हूँ. The two words that I have very, two phrases that I have very oftenly used: write concisely, apt. Use करके थक गया हूँ. Okay. So UPSC says write concisely, and then credit will be given for effective and exact expression. So that is what UPSC wants, and that is what you will give to UPSC on 20th September. Write from your heart. Dil se, write from your heart. Do not become too emotional, but write from your heart. With brain giving you good supporting arguments, supporting unique examples. Write from your heart, write passionately, express yourself effectively. That's when the best of the writing comes, when you write from heart. I'm telling, write from a heart, do not go berserk. Okay, just enjoy what you are writing. Once you're started with the introduction, do not, after writing introduction, okay, what if I had chosen that other topic? Have I did the right decision? That's not the time or the place to think. You already written the introduction, there is no going back. So whatever topic you have taken, do justice to it. You can do it. It's very, very simple. Keep it very simple. Keep it very, very effective. Right. So there is no way, there is no reason for you to, be afraid of, for whatsoever reason. Because you all have prepared. Yes, as I told in the earlier start of the session, some things we lack. You targeted 6 essay, you wrote 4, 5 sometimes. You targeted so much, revisions did not happen. It's okay. Imperfections are the way to go. Can 100% say that everything they planned for a prelims or a mains, they could do it? There are hardly a few that can tell. Even if they say, I did everything I could plan, I could have thought of or planned of, I would say, no, very, very practically not possible. There will always be areas that you have left. There will always be subtopics in GS 1, 2, 3, and 4 which you might have not studied. Questions आ सकते हैं, hopefully ना आए, hopefully you get questions from the areas that you have prepared well. अब आ गए तो क्या करेंगे? There is nothing you can do. You have to give your best there also. जैसे एक सेक्शन में 4 के 4 टॉपिक डिफिकल्ट है, choose the topic that you understand the best, do justice. एक सेक्शन में 4 के 4 टॉपिक इजी है, choose the topic that you can write the best. So don't sit there and think with respect to of that. Okay, so always have that clarity in mind. No matter what happens, you are going to do your best. Now coming to SAH course 2024, right? It's been a amazing journey as usual. After I crossed 300 test evaluation, I stopped counting. I have to go back now and हो जाएगा. Okay. आप लोगों ने नहीं लिखा. Okay, some of you stopped writing. It's okay. Okay, whatever you did after 4th test, many of you who expected to write 5 and 6, they could not. It's okay, right? Some of you could complete all the 6 tests. Okay, and remember the feedback that I have given you. See, I'm given you the feedback as per your strengths, as per your weaknesses. Just avoid your limitations and focus on your strength, and that is sufficient, right? And coming to the paper setting, it was all done very meticulously. I take about generally somewhere 3 to 5 hours to set one paper. I don't just pick some random quotes and give. There is a lot of research that goes behind the quote to make it as closely as with respect to UPSC, sometimes a notch above the difficulty level of UPSC in a test or two. Okay, so I know how some institutes set the paper, मतलब कहीं से भी कहाँ से भी quote उठा देते हैं and whatever. Okay, so but when I set paper, it's all very meticulously planned, very meticulously designed, to ensure that all the possible shocks UPSC can give you, I give you here. All the possible easy things UPSC can give you here. Okay, so everything is planned as part of and sometimes, yeah, I do exceed the difficulty level. I'm guilty to that, but it's needed. Okay, it's needed because I want to push you as much as possible against the wall, and to prove that, okay, no matter how further you're pushed against the wall, you can still break that cage and still express yourself. If not like an amazing essay, right? You can still end up writing a good essay, right? And one thing is for sure, if the paper is difficult, we should always expect for a difficult paper, because if let's say सारे topics easy आ गए, so how will you stand out? Everybody will write a good essay. You may write slightly better than the others, but वो जमीन आसमान का फर्क नहीं रहेगा. But when the paper becomes slightly, at least moderately difficult, बहुत लोग जिन्होंने they don't have a right strategy or not prepared well, they will not probably write a very good essay. But there you can stand out, there you can shine. So whether it is optional, GS or essay, always pray paper thoda difficult hai. Prelims also, okay, pray that paper is a little difficult so that you can shine. Okay, as they say, right, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Okay, it's a cliched quote, use mat karna essay mein. Okay, when the going gets tough, tough gets going. So that's where you can really shine, especially when the paper is slightly tough. And also I have pushed some of you a little bit. Okay, those of you who are not writing, I have sent personal messages. That worked, sometimes worked. It's like that Undertaker of WWE rising from the dead, right? बहुत लोगों ने लिखा है, and lot of people wrote after that. Yeah, my work became more hectic after that. I think perhaps I'm the only one who does that, who asks people to write tests, because I always feel one test, two tests can make a difference in the mains examination. One feedback and and a nudge from me, which is I tell, like, it's just a gentle reminder. It's not very gentle, I know, when it's coming from your faculty, when it's coming from your mentor. Okay, that's actually it becomes a moral obligation for you to write that, but happens. Okay, that's needed for you sometimes, because I know you're occupied with your GS option. I just remind you that essay bhi hai, because essay is always a low hanging fruit. And one thing with respect to you people, I want to thank you people for enrolling for the course. Like, living a very big organization and starting on my own, it was a big step. I possibly did not expect this much response, to be very honest. As they say, right, not knowing is a good place to start. So 3 months back, I did not know much what's going to happen. It was a huge step. I felt okay, the time had come, and it's an amazing response. And mostly, see, I don't have big marketing or anything or marketing presence. It's mostly by word of mouth. Okay, people told about me to you, and most of you are here like that. And also, with my approach to essay, as all of you have experienced, okay, like as they popularly say, the true purpose of education is turning mirrors to windows. That is something that I apply for your essay writing as well, right? I polish your mirrors also, but sometimes I show you how to generate certain uniqueness, some unique dimension, how to approach the essay, right? So I think I have adequately polished your mirrors and opened enough windows for you to craft good essays. But remember, experience counts. Like, experience counts a lot, whether it is your mock test or your previous means. Because as they say, we are what we are because we have been what we have been. So that's where the experience counts. Let's say you messed up any essay in your mock test, or any answer, any test option, anything that will serve as a reminder. As I tell you, make as many mistakes as possible. So all your mistakes will actually help you avoid them in the actual exam. Just be conscious of that and avoid it. Because when you see that, right, all the hardships that you have gone through, good experiences, bad experiences, right? Or let's say you have already written a mains or two. That will all help you write better, hopefully this time. But remember, you need to identify that. You need to see within yourself exactly who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Because as I say, talent hits a target no one else can hit. Talent hits a target that no one else can hit. Genius hits a target that no one else can see. So you have to think of dimensions which not many people can think of. At least one or two unique dimensions. Because everybody else who is talented will write the same things that you also write, but at least use your genius to think, at least at the end of the essay, one or two dimensions which nobody else can think of, and use common words to say uncommon things very effectively. So use your language to say use common words to say uncommon things more effectively than the others, and your job will be done. And remember, do not think too much about the outcome, right? Do not think too much about the outcome. Whatever happens in this exam, whether you clear it, whether you do not clear it, always remember, happiness is the highest good. As long as you are happy, doing well in life, everything is good, right? So do not attach too much importance to the outcome, because the end goal is being happy. You can be happy with clearing this exam. You can be happy without clearing this exam. You can be unhappy despite clearing this exam. Odds are high though, given the nature of how bureaucracy is. You can still end up being unhappy after clearing this exam. Why I'm telling this? Because I was speaking to a couple of students who have reported for FC in Labasna. They're telling that it is become very hard. It's Some of them told that it's more of a jail than enjoying. There are way too many restrictions. So we never know what exactly that works for us. So just remember that happiness is the highest good, and your end goal should be to be happy. If you clear this exam, yes, you can be happy and you can help a lot of people, you can serve the country. Irrespective of that, you don't clear also, you can still be happy, probably more happy, as I was telling earlier. Right. And with respect to those who are appearing in 2025, initially the idea was to get your 6 tests done before December. I feel that you need little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to sort of increase the number of tests. Okay, upgrade. Okay, you don't have to. I was planning on starting a new batch for 2025, which will have more tests, and I'll easily upgrade you for that. Okay, with more tests, so that you can benefit. Because you write till December again, you don't write for 6 months, you are back to square one, or at least square two. So I thought since you people joined me when I was very, very, not knowing was a good place to start, and you guys, sort of believed in me. So for you people, I'll just give you a upgrade where you can write more tests, details of which I'll announce in the channel shortly. That is what I planned on. One more thing. Those who are appearing for IFOS mains, take 10 days off, 7 to 10 days off, and come back. We will start with English. Their arguments, counter arguments do not matter. It's the English. And also, all of you who are appearing for IFOS mains, use compulsory English paper as a mock test for your IFOS mains. Because here it is qualifying. In IFOS, the score counts. So whatever compulsory English paper, I think on 28th September, the compulsory papers are there, right? Okay. So use your compulsory English paper as a mock tests. Okay, so as a mock test for your IFOS mains, come back. Okay, those with a common optional, we can form a group. Okay, so that because it's better to study forest with a group, whatever it's comfortable for you people, we can do that. But make sure that okay, you use compulsory English as a mock test for your IFOS mains, right? And take a week and 10 days. Okay, because you will need another 2 months to prepare those two optionals, daily little bit of English, and GSO you will not need much to prepare, because you have already prepared effectively. Little bit of here and there, if you can prepare, you would be fine. All right, if you have any doubts, anything to say, anything to ask, do let me know now. Okay, those who have already asked for doubts, okay, I'll clear. Transparent exam board, it depends again on center to center. UPSC generally doesn't have a problem while carrying board. Again, it depends on center to center. You can carry it. If they don't allow it, you can keep it outside. You can scribble on question paper, okay, but question paper, try to maintain its neatness, but definitely you can take mark and scribble. No, there is no restrictions against it. Pre-prepared intro and conclusion, as I always say, will help. Especially it will help as a worst case scenario. Okay, and with whenever you cannot think of anything, having a pre-prepared intro and conclusion will help. With respect to offline classes, I'll just update everything on the Telegram channel. Yeah. Any other doubts? Anything to say? You can, before we can wrap this session.
Hello, sir. This is Shrikant. I would like to say a few words about about my experience with the course.
Yeah, Shikant, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. So my name is Shrikant, and based on my experience in the UPSC, where I was fortunate enough to get a chance to appear at interview twice, so I've understood the UPSC market little bit. And one major flaw I felt in the market test series with respect to any other paper, or in particularly with respect to essay paper, is there is no constructive, continuous, and step-by-step wise feedback. And I think that is the point where essay edge course stand out from all the institutes, because I've been giving test series from a very prestigious institutes, and unfortunately I got from two different tests, I got a feedback from two different people which is very much contradictory. So end of the day, those kind of test series and those kind of feedback is really putting me into a bigger trouble rather than helping me out in the process. But in the SAH course, I still remember, even I was part of SAH course last year. When I started my essay preparation, I had zero knowledge. I used to follow pestle approach, politically, economically, and this thing. And there's no flow, there's no connection, very mechanical introductions and conclusions. I remember my very first essay where there's no structure, no presentation, no arguments, dimensions, counter dimensions. And from there to the recent sixth essay, I feel I've come a long way. There's been a substantial change in my approach to essay, not just essay. The thinking process that I've learned through this SAH course, I do get a chance to implement that in even in the ethics paper, especially for the code based questions, or in general in any GS paper, to bring more dimensions to my answer. And I still remember those days where Farisar, if something is wrong, Farisar will not leave you there. He'll make you sit there and think then and there. So he'll teach you the thinking process, like how should you think. And at times if he finds something wrong with my any heading or something, he'll ask me then and there how you'll rephrase this, so that in the evaluation process he'll also teach you how to think, how to rephrase the same statement to lick it to make it more effective. So that is what I felt with respect to the course. So I just want to say thanks to Farid sir for the SAH course in general, and for overall guidance he has been providing me from the last couple of years through his mentorship. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू श्रीकांत, थैंक यू फॉर द काइंड वर्ड्स. और किसी को तारीफ करनी है मेरी, he can be my guest, but really thank you for the kind words. I always believe that philosophy, that I have to work harder than my students. Like, I know you people work hard, but I'm very competitive that way, right? So that's why I keep on pushing you to the edge. Okay, if I have pushed you a little too much to the edge, I would say I'm not sorry, I'm just doing my duty, and hope everything works out for you in the long run. All right. So it's been fun for me. Okay. And yes, as you people get busy in your mains, I will take a much deserved break for a few days. Okay. Can't wait for that break. It's been quite hectic past month or so. Many people are writing, and I'm glad that you have done, and hopefully everything works out in your favors. Okay. If no further doubts or nothing else, we'll just wrap up the session. Remember, okay, just go and write well. Okay, just give your best shot. Do not think about the outcome. Leave everything up to the God. Okay, and take good care of your health. Eat well, sleep well. Peak from 20th onwards. Okay, now this is the time to rest, relax. Okay, do moderate studies. Do not push yourself too much to the limit. Okay, do not push yourself too much. Do moderate studies, and from 20th onwards, give it your best shot, and may God be with you. Take care, guys. Bye bye. Anything else we'll discuss bilaterally, one on one. Take care. Bye bye.